Joining us now is the National President of the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners, Yusuf Lawal. Thank you so much for joining us on Newsnight.
It's my pleasure.
Great. The Minister of Transportation, only in 2024, said 90% of road crashes is due to human error, such as fatigue of the drivers and negligence, among others. I want to ask you, considering the numbers of crashes we have seen on the Nigerian roads in recent time, does your association take responsibility for these crashes that we see?
No.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Why?
Yes, because you see, there are, as far as we are concerned with the operators, and we believe that there are a lot of factors just like they were enumerated today. And in enumerating those factors, I don't believe that 100% blame was given to us, so we will not take responsibility as much as we felt the pain of the loss of lives as well as properties across the country. But a very large extent is as a result, as far as we are concerned, you know, one, the condition of the roads, condition of the vehicle, condition of the driver, as well as the scooping of the petroleum product by the general public. So when you look at it, it's not the fault of our members that members are scooping. It's not the fault of our members that the vehicle falls. There is a very strong correlation between accidents of the last few accidents that happened with the condition of the roads. Of course, the roads, most of them are work in progress. I must commend Mr. President because, like the one that happened at Port Harcourt, the road is under construction over time, so there was a clash between one vehicle and the other. The one that happened between Kaduna and Abuja to Kaduna Road, Diko Junction, the road is still under construction. That is not to say that we will absorb ourselves blame, but we will not take 100% blame. The condition.
So, what percent do you take the blame? You say you will not take 100%.
Yeah, naturally, I will not. I will start. Look, the condition that we find ourselves. You need. I challenge some people even today at the meeting that I want them to follow us in a vehicle from Abuja. Let us follow through Lambata and go to Makwa and go to. Then they see the situation we find ourselves. You know. So many devices. This investment we are doing is a private investment. Nobody would like to put a lot of money on the road and expect it to go just down the drain and go and kill people.
That makes sense. But we've seen in situations where the drivers drive recklessly. They behave like they are lords of the road. Do you have systems in place and checks in place to check, I mean, the training of your drivers, safety protocols, their mental health? I mean, they're driving long distances, fatigue. Do you check all of that?
Yes, yes. Even those, all that you've said has been reiterated today because they were part of the recommendations were approved since 2023. Now, most of our members that work with most of the major energy markets association, they go, our drivers go training twice a year. Our vehicles.
All your drivers?
All the drivers. There are drivers that major energy marketers train. There are drivers that NATO and PTD Nupen train. Then also the vehicles go for inspection at a facility in Ibadan twice a year. They check the roadworthiness of the vehicle before the vehicle goes to road. Then even before you go to load, that's why we call safe to load, which is also done in conjunction with Federal Safety Corps. Even after loading, that's why we call safe to travel. You see, these are unfortunate incidences, but I must confess to you, in every facet of life you are doing, we have good eggs, we have bad eggs. But I believe the good eggs are better. But I kept telling you, this is a personal investment. A vehicle now is about 150 million naira. You know, so nobody will come and put such kind of vehicle on the road and will not put all the safety requirements.
Yes, you've reiterated that. But on the flip side, isn't that a reason why some of the trucks are in the states they are? They are very expensive. And so are there instances where people find it difficult to turn over these vehicles after they have, satisfied their numbers of years on the road. We still see tankers that their valve are not used, the valve are faulty, the tankers look like they should be in scrap garages.
Well, part of what we discuss is the way to clear away some of the rickety vehicles, if at all there are. And,
are you saying they are not?
If at all there are, I don't want, you see, don't look at the body, look at the engine. In most of the vehicles, look at the engine. But as much as possible now, even some of the bodies who want to clear that, look, everybody has to come on deck to ensure that we do not repeat this kind of incidences. It's a very unfortunate development. So many of us that have vehicles across the road do not like to see this kind of, experience. It's a very, very, very bad experience. And from the time, even from last year, before now, we'll be meeting to see how we would avoid this. But January to now, over 100 people died. It's giving us very, very serious concern.
Indeed. I mean, needless deaths, preventable deaths. Let's talk about the speed limiting device that was brought up in this country to avoid accidents such as this that we are seeing. Are they still in place? Are they effective? Or are your members circumventing the devices?
We have speed limiting devices in all the vehicles. Like I said, before a vehicle goes for loading, there is safe to load, safe to travel. But you see, a lot of people are here speaking about speeding, drivers speeding. The road needs to be in a very perfect condition for a driver to even speed. When in a situation where you have bumps around, go left and right before you navigate and move around, it's very difficult to speed. Let me give you an example. You know, I am much even more concerned about the condition. If you have a brand new vehicle, I'm more concerned about the spare parts we use than even some of those things. If you have a brand new truck that you bought today, and you drive it from Lagos down to Abuja, you imagine the number of potholes you go through, the number of navigation you go through, and such vehicle requires even grease. Grease, just grease. Now, if that grease is not a genuine grease, before you get to your destination, the grease will die down. So it will be iron to iron. So even the turntable will burn, turntable breaks. That's all.
Mr. Lawal, I mean, if you complain about the state of the roads and we're having this number of accidents, over 300 people die in months in this country because of tanker crashes and explosions, and we have potholes on our roads, like you say. When we now have the smooth roads, what will happen?
Well, we have right now, like I said, we have speed limiting devices, and the drivers are compelled to adhere to strict speed rules.
Limits.
You know, also most of our vehicles, they also have tracking devices. I can see how my driver speeds, and if even driver parks, even if he swaps. So it's very easy for us to detect the behavior of driver.
What kind of sanctions do you have in place for your drivers that flout this law?
Well, there are a lot of measures taken from individual transporter to the other to ensure that we avoid. See, let me tell you, loss of lives is not an easy thing to take. So we have been brainstorming in order to ensure that not only our drivers, every other driver, that not only the fuel tanker driver is on board to avoid this kind of incidences. And let me also tell you, we need to educate the general public.
Right.
A vehicle that is on the road, that is carrying highly inflammable product, even if it doesn't fall, it's a danger on the road. Because even any drop of the content to any wheel that is hot is fire. So general public should be wary of such kind of vehicles, even before the vehicle falls down. You know, so we are trying as much as possible to ensure that we enlighten. General enlightenment is key, not only to the owner of the vehicle, the driver, but also to the general public. And you see, it's very unfortunate today, fuel is distributed in Nigeria 100% by trucks. So therefore, there is over-reliance on this service.
Yeah.
But in trying to make sure that we meet this service, so many people have to come on board to assist us in delivering this service.
Great. Just before going 20 seconds, you rejected the idea of a 60,000 capacity tankers being taken off the road. Tell us why and what exactly is behind, what's the notion behind this?
Yeah, there is the wrong notion that most of these accidents is a result of heavy duty trucks.
Yeah.
We feel it is a very wrong notion, and we feel that most of the distribution now is done by 60,000 tanker trucks. We have about 60,000 tanker trucks. And for a truck to drive 60,000 tanker, it must be strong and serviceable. And it's about 150 million naira per one. If you calculate, that's 300 billion for personal investment. So if you come and clear 300 billion at a go, you are clearing investment, you are clearing 2,000 drivers, you are clearing 2,000 motor boys and their families. So what we are saying, we will have to come on board with the authority. So what is the way forward? And what is the better way to resist the effect on the road? You see, the weight, axle weight on a vehicle is determined by the number of wheels on the vehicle. If a tanker has 3 wheels at the back, it has the tendency, the capacity, as approved by the last gazette, to carry 43 tons. And 60,000 litre, if you times with the density of petroleum, it's not as much as that. So let us appreciate what member, and even if for any reason there is need to look at that, we have to come on board and have exit plan, or what is government can do to this. Is a private investment, and this private investment for the benefit of the general public.
And we'd like to see that no life is lost needlessly
Yes.
to the transportation of highly flammable, chemicals on our roads. We have to thank you so much, Mr. Lowell, for being on the news tonight. He's the National President, Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners.
It's my
Thank
pleasure.
you.